that if the total amount that government raised to fight the pandemic, not to put you in any tight corner, no. The trust fund. So this was the money made available to fight the pandemic. In addition to this one, that is why I'm asking that question.
I don't feel that you are putting me in any corner. All I'm saying is that they are also to be invited to appear before the Public Accounts Committee. And
so for now, we have established that 21 billion 89,185.24 Ghana cedis was pandemic. We can now move forward. But before I move forward, honorable members, if you have any questions to ask, Honorable Yusuf.
Yes, Chairman. I want to find out, you asked to know was COVID-19 pandemic and its as COVID levy by Act 10 amount of money we are talking about, because Chairman wanted to know the total amount of money received. So maybe any part of this, and how much was it?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the COVID-19 levy is not, and clearly, Chairman went through one by one all the sources, and so for this one, fund, and so it is not part of it. Yeah, thank you.
Chairman, my last follow-up. I want to find out why more, yet we are still paying the levy, because the money was meant to mobilize. I mean, the tax was
loan. Mr. Chairman, COVID is no more. But the impacts of COVID, we still feel. There are so many things that we did having to take care of. And so, just like you stated, the BOG COVID-19 bonds, we started paying after 20. Effects of COVID is still with us, and government is using that to address some. That money is being used to address. But the effects is still with us. We still have to pay for COVID-19 vaccines COVID during the COVID time that we are still taking care of, respectfully, Mr. Chairman. And so, and then once Parliament also of the revenues that should come in 2024, it is still one of the taxes that we are collecting to help government.
When would Ghanaians be relieved of this tax? When? Do you have an idea? Or is it just coming?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I remember that for the COVID-19 levy, when we brought it to the floor of Parliament, we said that after a period, it will be subject and say when, but it was also stated when we brought that revenue measure to Parliament.
But we're still paying for the vaccines.
What I'm saying is that 19 vaccines. Yes, the vaccines are.
You said There are other things we need to do.
What I'm saying is that, Mr. Chairman, so the vaccines that are coming in, they are not free.
Also, vaccines are still coming in.
Yes, people are still taking. I know that COVID-19 vaccines are still in the system. People are taking COVID-19 free. And Mr. Chairman, that wasn't the only thing I said.
Well, Minister.
Mr.
Fine.
Chairman, respectfully, that wasn't the only
area. That's what I'm asking.
Yes, I understand, but then let me put it in context that the effects of COVID is still with us. I even mentioned the loan we took from Bank of Ghana. So the effects are still with us, and we're having to address it. So government is using revenues being generated to address such effects.
I asked a simple question. You are dodging the question.
Mr. Chairman,
yes, no.
Mr. Chairman, it cannot be a yes or no answer. What I'm saying is that people still receive COVID-19, a third one. So it is in the system, and once it's in the system, obviously it cannot be for free. And we don't produce the system, and the vaccines in the system definitely will have to be paid for.
Honorable Minister of State. Your responses are not helping matters, because we need to make the thing clear. Those vaccines in the system, have you already bought them? Which you are still ask.
Mr. Chairman, but you should also know that the vaccines have a lifespan, so you cannot buy them 2-3 years. And clearly, it tells you that yes, vaccines are being procured to help boost the immunity.
Now we are buying new ones.
I cannot say we are buying new ones or we are bringing more. All I said was that the COVID-19 has left, but COVID has some effects that we still have to address. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We will.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Minister, we all do know a bulk of the COVID, the one we attempted purchasing, was in a serious, it was tangled in a serious problem. We never got them. What we bought, how much we spent in buying them, and as the vaccines that you think that we're still paying for, those we got free, and perhaps them, for which reason we need to buy more. Could you tell this committee?
Honorable member, I think is coming. They are properly seated to respond to that question. Minister of Health, Ghana Health Service.
Let me go to my this over 21 billion Ghana cedis was up to June 2022. Did you, and when I say you, I mean government, incurred an additional cost as far as the is concerned? Did you raise additional revenue after June 2022 as far as this COVID management is concerned?
Minister.
Did we raise additional revenue?
Yes, because what we have here is up to June 2022.
Yes. You are asking if we mobilized anything in the name of COVID after 2022?
Yes, because what we have here is up to June
had been with us for 2 years. So anything at all, we'll go through the MDA's specific budgets and the MDA to the MDA. So it wasn't. I don't remember mobilizing additional to the MDAs to address a concern.
Mr. My last question on this. I think is on the COVID levy. When the Minister for Finance, then you were the Deputy Minister, for the purposes of raising revenue in the name of COVID, the Minister, part of the justification to pay that tax was because government spent money in providing free electricity and free water. Under your boss, when he came seeking this additional tax regime. Now, I want to find out from you, specifically for the purposes of providing water and free electricity to Ghanaians, and how much has been generated as a result. Don't you agree with me? I want to finish and allow me to ask my questions.
Honorable member, a lot to go.
Okay, and so answer the first leg.
Answer to those questions will come up.
So answer the first leg of the question. As a result of the COVID levy, how much was spent for the purposes of providing free water and free electricity?
Mr. Chairman, for the COVID-19 levy, even just yesterday, when the mid-year budget was submitted to Parliament, the figure that we have raised from the COVID-19 levy, Mr. Chairman, I will put them together and bring to the committee. It's always attached as part of the appendices to the budget and to the mid-year review that we bring to Parliament, with all the monies raised under COVID-19 levy since it was passed. Thank you.
Chairman, thank you. Minister, out of the that we raised for COVID-19, I want you, can you loans and how much of it is in the form of grants? I know, for instance, that the Bank of Ghana, for which we must continue to pay. But apart from that, which other are loans that we will have to pay for?
I know that the World Bank group gave us some money, part of the Garrett loan that we passed, and so we needed to reimburse. So that was a loan. And the 130 told us a grant, but I need to verify and
Honorable Robertson.
Yes. Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable, I may refer to yes, the transmitter letter. It says the opening paragraph reads, "We have carried out a special audit on the government of Ghana COVID-19 2020 to June 2022 in accordance with our statutory mandate and Article 186 number HM/IAU/GAS/SCE/1/2022, which clearly states that the request to undertake the audit was part of the funds stated as being funds utilized by government to fight the disease. I was hoping that you would have indicated that the fund for that period would have been stated as part of the funds utilized. That. No, donation to the trust fund. So it was part of the public funds that we utilized. Then 2, regarding the COVID-19 recovery tax, I was also hoping to have informed the auditors that for the period for which they were carrying out the special audit for fighting the disease, for the period under review for the audit, that sources missing from the work of the auditors. So the figure of 21 be an understatement. That is correct. In terms of how the period that the auditors audited the accounts. Yes, please.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Thank you.
If you have the information.
Fund. I believe we are here to answer to the funds that came through the COVID-19 Trust Fund has also been audited separately. Already made mention of that fact whilst you are away. And so that is it. What we 1 billion, and that is why we've been asked to come and give details and clarifications to any.
Auditors audited the account, the funding sources that you disclosed. That's the point I'm making. Mandates audited the funding sources that the ministry disclosed to them, and they are listed. And I'm 1013 to set up a public trust called the COVID-19 Trust Fund, for which public ought to have disclosed that amount of money that went to that entity to the auditors for purposes of this. Then again, I'm saying that you also failed to disclose to the auditors that in addition to this to 1.844 billion, the total tax revenue that was accrued between when and the period of July 2022 when they were.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the COVID-19 fund, it is part of the revenue lines that government uses to raise money COVID-19 pandemic. And respectfully, every year, I've been able to raise through the budget in the appendix. Just yesterday, the mid-year budget in the appendix also showed COVID-19. So, Mr. Speaker, sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Very soon I'll be. Not now.
So, Mr. Chairman, those revenues are disclosed in there, and they are not solely budgets. And in addition to that, fight 19 pandemic.
Honorable Minister, my question is that a special audit within a certain period, and within that period, you have disclosed so my question is that you fail to disclose how much tax revenue we got from the COVID-19.
Understand is that the COVID-19 levy is one of the channels of revenues the government uses. $1 billion from Bank of Ghana. Right after 2022, we had to start servicing those loans. Typical example, I have given you a typical example.
Honorable Apak.
Honorable Minister, one of your references with regard to we are no longer in the throes of COVID has been the payment of the 10 billion that was taken. How much of the been paid down on the basis of revenue accrued through the levy?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I wouldn't have that with me, and I can provide the committee if they so require.
Very well, Mr. Chairman. I asked the minister if she could provide how much of the 10 billion loan has been paid down from. She says that she doesn't have those figures now, but if we want those figures, she could make those. We get to see
Mr. Chairman,
how much of the loan has been paid down.
Not necessarily proceeds, but how much of that loan has been serviced.
We started servicing that loan, the bond.
Yes, we were given a grace period, I think, of 2 years. So after that, yes, you are so.
And all other loans that we took, have we started servicing them?
Mr. Chairman, some of the loans have a 5-year grace period. So about servicing, because we took it in 2020, and so I need to check. And
so until the last peso or the last cent with levy.
Mr. Chairman, like I mentioned, that when the minister was bringing the COVID levy to Parliament, revenue measure will be subjected to a review after a certain period.
That is what I'm asking. We are not sure of that period. We'll be servicing the loan, and the revenue to service the loan must come from the levy. So I'm asking until the last
sources, because we are also raising revenue from other sources. But all I'm saying is that the minister said it to be subjected to some review after some time, and so your assertion that until yes.
Which minister?
The then finance minister.
The position of the
decision to be made by the Minister of Finance. Respectfully, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I don't think I have any other hand to of the committee. Let me give you the opportunity to introduce yourselves. Honorable.
Usu Afrifa Mensa, MP for Amasa. Of the committee. I'm not a new member, old member.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. I am Honorable Dr. Frida Prempe, MP for Tana North.
Minister, introduce yourself.
My name is Honorable Adelaide Tim, MP for Insuta Kwama Biposo, Deputy Health Minister.
Good morning. My name is Dakwa Newman. MP. I was a member of this committee.
But you spoke already.
Yes.
But introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Comrade Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed. Abna, what are you saying? Comrade Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, MP for be in government, and you be in opposition.
All right, thank you very much. We also have our minority chief who want to come and observe how the proceeding is ongoing. So, Honorable Leader, you are welcome. Now we have now established the revenue. We now go to the disbursement of the first one is how you utilize the contingency fund. The 1.203 billion. You use that fund or markets, supply of food items, free water and electricity for small and medium scale businesses affected by COVID, purchase of various medical supplies, quarantine of Ghanaians who were stranded. And the auditors have audited this. The details of this will be seen in the other sector spending. So, can your officers who handle this confirm that?
Yes, please. This is how it was.
22, ranking member.
Thank you, Chairman. Utilization of World Bank Group funds for COVID-19 health interventions. This amount, I noticed, have been converted. So the only question I really wanted to ask is whether, excuse me, whether you can confirm the receipt of this money. But I don't have any further questions. Yeah.
No further question.
Yeah, because you confirm it in your earlier. This is the only thing I wanted to ask about it. So I don't have any further question on that particular one. Thank you, Chairman.
Let's go to paragraph 23. Utilization of the $1 billion. Now, the government of Ghana received $1 billion from the International Monetary Fund. And the money was used, the amount was utilized on liability management. On liability management for the fourth quarter allocation, NAPCO program, first quarter allocation, free SHS program, 2020, academic year, free water and electricity, Development Bank of Ghana. And 7 regional hospitals. Issuance of Ghana card across the country, among others. Honorable Minister, the money that was given to government was used to pay District Assembly Common Fund, fourth quarter. The District Assembly Common of government, 5% of total government revenue was supposed to be disbursed to district assemblies. How come? The question was asked by the ranking member, which of these monies were loaned? Using the loan to disburse for the District Assembly Common Fund fourth quarter.
Mr. Chairman, in the first place, when Ministry of Finance came to seek your support to help us, 1, fight the COVID-19, help us close the gap as a result, the revenue gap as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. If you to reduce our revenues by 11.1 or 2 billion Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, expenditure and government still needed to fund the budget. So government looked for sources of funding to help. I usually think that the budget funds. And so as part of sought the assistance of the IMF with that 1 billion loan, and that was used to plug that hole that had, and so it was used to support the funding of the budget. That request. And you mentioned the fact that we used
Honorable
part
Minister,
of that to pay for DACF.
Yes.
Yes. Mentioned that we use part of that to pay for DACF. Mr. Chairman, if you would recall, DACF had to put in their support to fight the COVID-19. They had to help them with the PPEs that nobody ever budgeted for. So yes, government used parts of that support, budget funding support, to give to the COVID-19, the various 275 districts, municipals, and metropolitans that we have. So that is what for us to use as budget support. And so we use this to plug the 11-point-something billion as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Honorable Minister, I have that the District Assembly Common Fund is a factor of revenue that we raise. That we use to support the budget or to fund the budget. It doesn't. It's a factor, 5%.